That's me, Vince Stone, Linux-loving miscreant and begrudging NVIDIA shill. Now I say begrudging because if you edit video, stream, or work with AI, you've run into an application that requires these rascals. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to install them on Debian, a Linux distribution used as the base for several fantastic projects. That said, it's a choose-your-own-adventure game. So the first thing we're going to do is add our user to the sudo group, exit, and log back in. Now we're going to open our sources.list and add non-free and contrib to Debian and Debian security. And let's give that a save. Now we can add the i386 architecture with dpackage, followed by an apt update. Up next, we're going to install dkms, kernel headers, and build essentials. Now we want to create a file called blacklistnuvo.conf. We're going to populate that with the following and save it. Then we can update our inet ramfs, and we're done. In a terminal, run sudo apt install NVIDIA driver, followed by NVIDIA CUDA toolkit. Now press Y and reboot the system. You can verify the install by checking the NVIDIA X Server settings utility. You have a couple of options here. Download the production, new feature, or beta drivers from NVIDIA.com. Make the run file executable using chmod, and launch the executable using sudo. The latest drivers even allow you to install them without stopping the X server. You may encounter Nuvo warnings, but if you completed step 0 in this guide, they can be safely ignored. Go ahead and rebuild inet ramfs for good measure. Just say no to the X configuration utility and reboot the system. You can verify the install by checking the NVIDIA X Server settings utility. So you want to download the production, new feature, or beta drivers from NVIDIA.com. Make the run file executable using chmod. Check your running kernel with uname A. Locate the real-time image using apt and install it. Reboot the system and confirm it's running the real-time kernel. Now install dkms, kernel headers, and the build essential packages with apt. Then we can change to superuser and set ignore preempt RT presence to 1. Now launch the run file. We can safely ignore the X server bugga. In this example, I'm reinstalling the same drivers but with a real-time kernel, so it's safe to continue the installation. Install the 32-bit libs and register with dkms. If you try to rebuild the inet ramfs, this will happen. We're going to do it later, so go ahead and continue. Say no to the X configuration, then we're going to exit superuser and manually update the inet ramfs and reboot the system. And we can verify the install by checking the NVIDIA X Server settings utility. Download the CUDA keyring from NVIDIA and install it with the dpackage. Also, make sure you have contrib enabled in your app sources. Run sudo apt update followed by apt install CUDA toolkit 12.3. After that, open your bash RC and add the following lines. Log out and back into the session and test that it's working with a VNCC and NVIDIA SMI. To uninstall the NVIDIA drivers installed with apt, all we have to do is run sudo apt purge NVIDIA asterisk and CUDA asterisk. Follow that up with apt auto remove, and you're done. To uninstall NVIDIA drivers installed with the run file, locate the run file that you installed the drivers with and didn't accidentally delete, then use the uninstall flag. Select node, and you're done. If you've installed CUDA using NVIDIA's apt repository, you can uninstall it by purging the keyring and toolkit, followed by auto remove. And there we go. That's everything I know about installing NVIDIA drivers on Debian Linux. Now, if you broke something, check the guide linked in the video description. And if you have questions, leave those in the comments. And if you want access to our Discord, uncut versions of the shows, behind-the-scene videos, and a whole lot more, become a patron. Patreon.com/LinuxGamecast.